If I told you that a simple pistol changed government rules, police training, and security systems around the world, would you believe it? And what if I also told you that the person who created this pistol had never been a gun engineer before?
In 1988, the world of firearms was redefined. The Glock 19, a masterpiece of engineering, was introduced by the visionary Austrian engineer Gaston Glock. This pistol didn't just set a new standard, it created a new legacy. Its history is a story of relentless innovation, a focus on minimalist design, and a commitment to unparalleled reliability and performance.
Pistols have been made across the world, but only a few go beyond being just weapons. They become systems. The Glock 19 is one of them. It's not just a handgun. It's a decision that governments, police forces, and law enforcement agencies chose to adopt. The real question is, why? This story begins in Austria during the 1980s. At that time, most pistols were made of metal, heavy, complex, and demanding to maintain. Police training was difficult, firearms had many parts, and reliability wasn't consistent in every environment. Governments needed a pistol that was simple, reliable, and standardized. That's where Gaston Glock enters the picture. Gaston Glock wasn't a traditional gun designer. He was an industrial engineer who worked with plastic and metal products. When the Austrian military announced a competition for a new service pistol, Glock didn't try to copy existing designs. Instead, he rethought the entire system. In 1988, the world saw the Glock 19. This pistol was far ahead of its time. The polymer frame, controversial back then, significantly reduced weight. The design had fewer parts, was mechanically simple, and most importantly, extremely reliable. Heat, cold, dirt, and rough handling didn't stop it from working. That's when governments started paying attention. For police and government agencies, one of the biggest challenges is standardization. Every officer needs the same equipment, the same training, and the same maintenance process. The Glock 19 solved this problem. Fewer parts meant fewer failures. A simple design meant easier training, and the lightweight frame meant more comfort for officers.
The Glock 19's arrival sent ripples across the globe, fundamentally changing standards for law enforcement. Its revolutionary lightweight polymer design, unmatched reliability, and cost efficiency made it the top choice for official use. Police forces and government agencies worldwide adopted it for its durability, simplicity, and ease of training.
Slowly, the Glock 19 stopped being just a pistol. It became a global standard. The United States, Europe, Asia, and Latin America, law enforcement agencies everywhere tested the Glock, and the results were almost always the same. Consistent performance. Another major factor for governance was cost efficiency. The Glock 19 wasn't just affordable to purchase. It was easy to maintain. Spare parts were readily available. Training required less time, and service life was long. These factors matter a lot in government budget decisions. But the impact of the Glock 19 wasn't limited to economics. It also transformed police training. Traditional pistols had complex safety mechanisms that caused confusion under stress. Glock's safe action system was simple and consistent. Every trigger pull felt the same. Training became uniform, and decision-making became more predictable. For governments, this predictability is critical because in law enforcement, predictability is part of safety. Over time, the Glock 19's design became a benchmark. Other companies began adopting polymer frames and simplified mechanisms. But Glock's first-mover advantage was incredibly strong. Today, if you look inside police holsters in many countries, there's a high chance you'll see a Glock or at least a Glock-inspired design. The Glock 19 also changed how governments think about procurement. In the past, tradition guided decisions. Glock proved that data, testing, and long-term reliability matter more. It showed that modern materials and simple engineering can be more effective. The cultural impact of the Glock 19 is also significant. Movies, documentaries, and news coverage made it a recognizable icon. But its real power wasn't on screen. It was inside systems, training manuals, police academies, and government supply chains. Today, when we look at the Glock 19, we're not just seeing a handgun. We're seeing a design philosophy, simple, reliable, and scalable. Gaston Glock may never have imagined that his design would become part of so many governments' security frameworks. But history often works that way. Solutions that truly solve problems become standards. And that's the real story of the Glock 19. It's not the biggest, it's not the most powerful, but it is the most practical. And governments always choose practical solutions. Even today, when new pistols enter the market, the comparison is always the same. Is it as reliable as a Glock? That single question shows how far the Glock 19 pushed the industry. The most interesting part of this story is that it isn't just history. The Glock 19 continues to evolve, new generations, improved ergonomics, but the core philosophy remains unchanged. Simple, reliable, effective. And that's why, even decades later, governments and law enforcement agencies continue to trust it.